There is no revenge story more famous in the history of metal than that of Dave Mustaine. Kicked out of Metallica, yet he rose and built Megadeth, a band that would later become a legend and part of the big four of thrash metal. This is the story of a man full of controversy, struggle, and perseverance. Dave Mustaine was born in 1961 in California. His childhood was tough, full of family problems, and from a young age, he was already exposed to alcohol and drugs. However, there was one thing that made him different: the guitar. From there, Mustaine found an escape, as well as a weapon that would later change his life. In the early 1980s, his name became known as a talented guitarist full of energy. In 1981, he joined a young band called Metallica. But his wild habits, temperamental nature, and alcohol addiction worsened his relationship with the other members. The peak came in 1983. Mustaine was fired from Metallica just days before they recorded their debut album. For some people, that would be the end of everything. But for Dave, it was the beginning of revenge. On the way back from New York to California, he vowed to form a band that was faster, heavier, and harder than Metallica. From that vow, Megadeth was born. Since their first album, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good, in 1985, Megadeth immediately stood out. Their musical style was complex, full of sharp riffs, political lyrics, war, and social criticism. Alongside Slayer, Anthrax, and of course Metallica, Megadeth entered the ranks of the big four of thrash metal that dominated the 80s. However, Mustaine's journey was not easy. Behind the success, his life was full of turmoil. Addiction to drugs and alcohol nearly destroyed him. In 2002, he even suffered a severe injury. The nerves in his left hand were damaged. Doctors said he would never be able to play guitar again. But Mustaine refused to give up. With intensive therapy, he proved the world wrong and returned to dominate the stage with his guitar in hand. The peak of recognition came in 2017. After failing 11 times to win a Grammy, Megadeth finally triumphed with the song Dystopia. For Mustaine, it was more than just a trophy. It was proof that his long struggle was not in vain. Outside of music, Mustaine is also known as unique. He is a practitioner of Taekwondo and Jiu-Jitsu, even once becoming an ambassador for martial arts. He also experienced a major transformation in life after rediscovering his Christian faith, which helped him break free from the dark times of addiction. In 2019, he faced his biggest trial: throat cancer. Many feared it was the end of his musical journey. But once again, Mustaine showed extraordinary fighting spirit. He fully recovered and returned to the stage with Megadeth in 2020. Dave Mustaine is a symbol of downfall and resurrection. From a guitarist who was kicked out to the mastermind behind one of the greatest metal bands in the world. His story teaches us that even from pain and anger, timeless works can be born. And to this day, Dave Mustaine still stands, not only as a legend, but as living proof that the fire of thrash metal will never die.